Hey, what's going on? What is up? It is me, and it is January 13th, 2022. The year's going uh, on nicely, at a nice clip. It's already January 13th, so January's halfway done. It feels like we just celebrated a new year not too long ago. But that's how time is. Time is its own dimension, which we kind of do have a little control over, and only in the forward sense to some extent. But either way, today we're going to talk about blood, right? So we've been talking about the immune system, and I really haven't been touching into the the details of blood, which are really important to the immune system. Those details are are needed to be known for many reasons, because you're one of the more well-known immune reactions, and this is like general knowledge, is that blood transfusions require immune histocompatibility in order to be successful, and they're one of the most needed types of transfusions, or one of the needed types of tissue slash liquid transfusions between people. Okay, so everybody needs blood, and most people are familiar with the ABO system, right? So you have your major antigens that are presented on your blood cells are A and B. So, like this, you learned this in school. You learned this in blood transfusion courses, if you need to know how to do that on the fly, or in any hospital or anything like that. But a quick review is that you can have blood type in antigen A or antigen B, or you can have both on your blood cells, or neither on your red blood cells. Okay, so your red blood cells here, for example, they have the antigens on their surface, right? So if you have, and this is not taking into account the RH system yet, but that's an important thing I'll get to in a bit, and perhaps in the next video. But the reason we have to know about this is because a person with type AB blood can a person with type A blood can only receive type A blood, because if they receive type B blood, type A antibodies are present, or sorry, type B antibodies are present in this person's bloodstream, which means that the B blood will be attacked. And since, remember, the antigens are actually produced from genes that are codominant, so that's why you can have AB blood, meaning you can have antigens from type A and type B on your blood, or on your blood cells. So remember, and just stepping back for a second, the antigens themselves, what are they? The antigens are glycoproteins that stick to the surface of your red blood cells. The protein part is intracellular, so it's within the cytoplasmic domain. The glyco or sugar part is extracellular and extends into the ECM, extracellular matrix, extracellular space, wherever the blood cell is in the plasma, etc. And that's that glyco part is what the antibodies will try to link onto, right? So if there is a match, for example, if type B antibodies are present in type A blood, or anti-B, right, for instance, then those antibodies will stick, and they will start to like do what antibodies do. They will kind of stick to each other, and they will hold the blood cells together and clump them together through agglutination, which we talked about before. Remember, agglutination is the process by which antibodies physically slow down pathogenic progression towards target tissue. Okay, so that's basically, it sees the blood cells as pathogens, and then holds them together, and then that is what is the cause of diseases related to blood transfusion, like clumping, clotting, etc., which in the world, many countries in the world have a very complex blood transfusion network, so the chance of this happening is low if it's done in a generally reputable lab, but I guess it could happen by accident these days. The other thing to know is type AB So type AB has antibodies against neither A or B. So type AB in a way is a lucky blood type because it can receive a lucky blood type for a person to be injured more so than A or B or O by itself, because AB can receive blood from A or B donors, typically speaking. Okay, and then finally you have O, right? And O cannot receive blood, but O can give blood to anybody, right? So O is known as the O universal donor, and it's great if a person has type O blood, then it's going to be hard to give them blood for A or B or AB, because they have antibodies against A and B. So anti-A and anti-B, if you can see in this little thing here, right? So that's why, like, it's type O blood is the worst type to get injured, but it's the best type if there's somebody who's injured and they need a transfusion from somebody who's compatible. Okay, so now those are the two major antigens, right? Then you have the positive and negative antigens. We'll get into that later, but that's because you have the major antigens are present, but the minor antigens also need to be taken into account. This major antigen from the minor antigen from the Rh system, the most important one is this. It's called the rhesus factor, right? So if you look in this little dot here, the rhesus factor antigen is peppered along the outside of the membrane of the blood cells, and in the case of positive blood, so you have AB positive, A positive, B positive, O positive, and then you have AB negative, A negative, B negative, and O negative. O negative has neither A or B and has no rhesus factor D, is what it's called. Okay, so I'll get more into that tomorrow. This is just meant to be a quick video, and thank you for watching, and hope you have good blood, no bad blood. All right, see you around.